So I recently started working with Kia Frisco, and they're in the Dallas Metroplex area. And these guys were looking for a way to track not only their keys when they come out of the key machine, but also their vehicles, so that they don't have to run in that scenario that we all know. You go to the key machine, you go to check out the key, it says it's checked out to someone else, you go find them, they say they don't know where the key is at. Now both of you are searching, you grab a manager and a lot porter. There's like 4 or 5 of you searching for this key. They don't want to do that. And then once they find the key, they got to walk the lot hitting the alarm trying to find the vehicle. It's a waste of time. So what they're doing is using TrueSpot's tracking tags. They wanted to be able to track a key anywhere on the campus when it comes out of that key machine, and a vehicle, no matter where it's sitting on the lot. So if that vehicle is sitting over a detail, behind service, in customer parking, and employee parking, wherever it lives, they can quickly locate the key and quickly locate the car. Because this comes down to 2 things. Time, how can we be more efficient with it? And money. I don't want to waste money recutting keys, and I don't want to waste money on guys searching for stuff when they could be selling and producing money for the business. So let me show you how they're doing it. I need to find a key, I need to find a car. I jump in. The next thing I do is type in my stock, my VIN, or the last 4 or 5 of it, whatever I want to do. So I'm going to do 1362A, right? I'm going to run the search and see, there we go, it's an Audi Q4 e-tron, right? That's the vehicle I'm looking for. Maybe somebody walked in the front door and asked about it. I can already see the car has been tagged and the key has been tagged because I can see those icons down there on the screen. When I click into it, it's going to immediately show me the location of the vehicle first, right? So I can zoom in, I can zoom out and see where it's at on the campus. And then above the map, you can see where it's at. So it says, hey, North Middle Parking, North Central. So this is all their naming conventions to what they call these areas of the dealership. So I know where the vehicle's at. I can see it out there on the campus. If I jump over to the key, it's then going to show me and tell me where the key is at. So I can see that it's in the building, but it's also telling me, hey, this is on the first floor in the war room. So this is a naming convention for an area of their store. So when they get over there, they'll see themselves walking around as a blue dot until they get into the war room, and then hopefully they can find it. Now, if they need to take this even a step further, I can get you within 1 to 2 feet of the location of a key. So when you get over by this, you're going to see that Find a Tag button on the screen light up green. When it does, I can select it and 2 things will happen. 1, it'll start pinging that key tag really fast, right? So every couple seconds. 2, an LED in it is going to start flashing. So if you're standing at a wall with a bunch of keys hanging on it, like a keyboard, you'd see it flash and go, oh, it's that one. Or if you're standing at an inventory manager's desk and they have tons of keys all over the place, how nice is it to see the ones flashing instead of reading every single tag that they have? The second part to this is you're going to see this screen appear. Now, a white ball is going to appear here in the middle of the screen. And then as I walk closer towards that tag, the white ball will start to move down towards the dark blue, the immediate section. When I get to immediate, I'm standing within 1 to 2 feet of that key tag. If I'm walking the wrong way, it'll move towards the red. So a little bit of hot and cold, but I can walk you right up to a set of keys. If your goal is to simply start locating keys quicker and find vehicles faster, just alone with the app you can do that. You don't really need much more than that. But this dashboard does a whole lot more for these guys. So right now I'm looking at the location of every single vehicle on the campus, but I can also flip this over to every single set of keys. So at the end of a night, you can see if keys get left out in cars, left in places where they shouldn't be, if they're not making it back into the building. So you can see where this becomes very powerful. On top of that, let's say we're doing something like an audit and we want to know where certain vehicles are. Well, I can tell you that there's 373 vehicles on the main campus right now, and here's a list of every single one of them. So before you have to go walk and touch every single car to do an audit, I can already help you with that, right? You can export any list that you create to an Excel sheet file as well. So this way they can take this list, export it, and then cross-reference it. If a car ever leaves the campus or a key leaves the campus, you'll immediately know. This is where things get really cool. Last sightings. So for inventory, hey, do I have any vehicles that have been gone for more than 24 hours? Absolutely you do. Here's the list of those 3 stocks and VINs where the vehicle has left and been gone for more than 24 hours, but less than 72. Not only can you see things like this, you can also receive alerts. So if you said, hey, I really want to get an email alert anytime a car has been gone for more than 6 hours or 8 hours, we can set that up for you. So that way, anytime a car breaks that timing threshold, you'll get that email alert and then you'll know, hey, what's going on with this vehicle? We need to check on this. Did we loan it out? Is it out for a recall? What's going on with this specific stock or VIN? We can do that exact same thing for keys. So if I scroll across here a little bit further, you'll see that there's one for keys. So if I want to know any set of keys that's been gone for more than 24 hours, here's that as well. So this way we can start to understand. Now on top of that, if a set of keys or a vehicle leaves the campus and you think maybe an employee took them, let me talk to you about that for a second. So let's say that I was showing a vehicle, right? And I had a bunch of sets of keys. We looked at 3 or 4 different vehicles and I put all the keys back, but one of them was in my jacket pocket versus my pants pocket, and I accidentally left and went home for the day. Well, what happens? Somebody comes in asking about that specific vehicle. We go to pull the key, it says I have it pulled, or maybe you don't even have a key machine. Maybe we just have no idea where the key is or who took it, right? Or you ask me and I say, hey, I gave it to so-and-so who gave it to so-and-so. We all know that story. Well, what if I told you that if a key leaves with an employee, you can still track it? All you would have to do is send out a text to that employee and say, hey, would you mind doing me a favor? Open up the TrueSpot app for you. When they do, their phone will work as part of our network that we establish, and it can ping a key or a vehicle or both off campus. So that way, if I accidentally took a set of keys home, we could still figure out, hey, they're not gone forever. We haven't lost them. We just had an employee take them home. Or maybe I took them to lunch, or whatever the case may be. Now, some other really cool ways that you can use this tool. I'm going to switch over to vehicles for a second and say, hey, what if I want to look at old age units? Can you show me anything that's 60 to 89 days old and where it's sitting on the campus? Well, absolutely we can. Now, how we're able to do this, I'm inputting, right? I'm integrating in their either DMS, inventory feed, or merchandising feed, or sometimes a combination of those. So that way, if you want me to pull photos in your descriptions from your merchandising feed, you want me to pull the stocks and VINs from your inventory feed, or however you want to do it, that's what I'm doing. So this way, they can look on a map and say, hey, where is all my 60 to 89 day old vehicles at, and see them on the map. So they can understand, hey, if they're sitting out in retail areas where they can be seen and sold, great. But if I've got some sitting back in the very back of the lot, in the back corner, what are the chances that I'm going to sell these 2 vehicles, right? And I can hover over them and it'll tell me the stock number VIN to them, right? So this way I can say, hey, we need to grab these set of vehicles that are in the back and move them up front. Maybe you want to throw balloons in them, hang tags on them. However you want to try to get those off your lot so they're not costing you money just sitting there. Once you start tracking your keys or your cars or keys and cars with us, there's a lot of different data that we have, and it becomes, how do you want to use that data? How can it benefit you? Well, here's a perfect example. We can create reporting for you. Maybe you want a test drive report, and that's exactly what you're looking at. I want to be able to determine an amount of time, 10 minutes to, let's say, 30 minutes is what I consider a test drive. And I want to be able to look at a specific date or multiple dates and go, show me every single vehicle that got driven on the 9th. Now they can get a list of every single stock and VIN they got test driven between 10 and 30 minutes on the 9th. So this way I can start understanding, what are people test driving at my store versus what are they buying at my store? Another way I can use this data is if I've got a vehicle like this guy right here, which was driven 14 times that day, I may have questions about it, right? It's a 2025 Nissan Rogue. They left the lot for 10 to 30 minutes. Now, this may be a parts vehicle or a loaner vehicle, or maybe a reason for that. But if somebody's maybe misusing my vehicles, I want to be able to determine that as well. When we've got data, there's a million things we can do with it. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about tracking keys or tracking vehicles, or maybe both with us, I hope that you'll reach out. Not only can you do this on the sell side, you can track vehicles through recon. Maybe you want to talk about tracking through service. What if there was a way where I could just throw a hang tag around the rearview mirror of a vehicle, click something on the keys, put a number on my RO, and I knew that I could search this number in the app and dashboard and see the exact location of a vehicle. Maybe it's on level 2 of a parking garage and which part, and I can see that the keys are at the dispatch office right now. We can do that. I can tell you if vehicles are sitting across multiple campuses, or if you have a parking structure and you want to know which level it's on and where, we can do that. Let's set up a demo and talk about your store and how we can help.